Hello and happy Saturday. It's April 9th at 1:58 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we are currently looking at BTCU USD. All right, now this isn't a pair that I'm typically one that I look at or used to looking at. However, if you're looking at any type of cryptocurrencies, like I look at Ethereum, Bitcoin is also vital to look at when you're looking at any cryptocurrencies like Ethereum or even the US dollar for that sake. Um, so we'll do a quick analysis looking at the daily on BTC USD. I'm attracted to this point, um, mainly if I go to the monthly time frame. I know we don't have a whole lot in terms of historical data, but if you understand wave patterns and areas of resistance, major reversal areas, candlestick patterns, things of that nature, technical indicators, you can see how bullish momentum is returning to the Bitcoin markets or to cryptocurrencies, Ethereum overall, like Ethereum overall. I just wanted to zoom in so I can really pinpoint this new zone that we're really coming into, where we're having some resistance at this point. So far, um, the month is still young, so we have a lot to go and some interesting things that are coming out in the news. So when we look at the weekly, we see prices sitting right here comfortably on the 61.8% after having a nice little rejection here at the 78, between the 78 and the 88, 6%. All right, so I like this strong bullish candle here. The momentum, let me see, the momentum indicator looks like we can continue to be going up. I do see that we had some divergence here in the past. All right, so based on recent price action and what I can see here, I would be interested to see price continue to grow up. We have this nice little consolidation period as we're ending out, last month. And some countries are, out on holiday last week. So we've had a little bit of a interesting period here, but we'll be looking to see a breakthrough or breakout to either the upside or downside soon. One thing that I looked at, which is why I kind of wanted to do this analysis, that I was reading about Binance and the litigation proceedings that they're having. So I didn't read a lot into the litigation, but I went to the Binance website and just kind of caught some interesting news. And I think that this is something that would, like, when you're trading the foreign exchange markets or any markets for that matter, I would recommend being prepared for either bullish or bearish momentum, because price is going to do one or two things, go up or go down, or the third would be, sitting neutral or consolidating for a while. So anyway, when you only focus on the bad news, then you're only going to see the bad side of price action. Like your brain will just be, programmed or trained to just see the negative aspects of an issue. However, when you take a neutral approach and just kind of sit back and see and do some more informed decision making, do some, unbiased research, you can come to see that you know, you can see the positive and the negative both sides, and you're able to make a more conscious decision from that perspective. Okay. I'm just gonna take a sip of tea here. All right. So anyway, I thought this was interesting. I didn't read a whole lot into it, but I know that Bitcoin mining, which Bitcoin mining, if you want to take a look at it right now, I'll just go back here and read what it says, but ensures that blocks of transactions are created and stacked in the right order in a way that can be traced and proven mathematically. So I relatively know what Bitcoin mining is. Like I know people that mine Bitcoin, or I've been reading news articles about Bitcoin miners and how it's a hot way to make, cash, to make money. But it uses up a lot of electricity, and there's a high upstart fees and costs and things like that. So I'm just gonna take a quick look through what Bitcoin mining actually is for the newcomer, or somebody like me that you've heard the term, but have you really looked it up and researched it relatively, and got it officiated, or was the information like third party? Which I think is something important in these spaces, is like really doing your own profound research. We have ample enough time, ample enough resources to um, fully be out here in the self-investing game, and researching the things that are important to you, the things that you're interested in, the things that you're vested into. Okay, so right here, so when gold is mined, nothing is achieved beyond the discovery of new gold, but when Bitcoin is mined, it's a valuable service that's provided to the network, which is decentralized transaction recordation and validation. So it records and validates decentralized transactions on the Bitcoin network. Okay, so I'm just reading through it here. So the purpose of Bitcoin mining is that um, it solves a problem, which is double spending, where people forge or commit forgery in terms of money, or like digital currency or digital transactions. Okay, so basically, like an MP3 or Word doc can be copied perfectly at no cost, and there's no way to tell which file is the original. The ease of copying means counterfeit currency, including rapidly overrun the economy. So if you think about people like that counterfeit the US dollar, and like all the efforts that go into place to prevent the counterfeiting of the US dollar, which is like, I don't know, I guess like a, uh, a tale as old as time or whatever, but that's what the purpose of Bitcoin mining does, is it prevents, or it solves that problem. So to prevent this, or to fix it, the inventors of Bitcoin designed a system of network interactions, a protocol that checks each putative Bitcoin transfer against a public ledger called the blockchain. A crook can try and resend already spent Bitcoins until they're blue in the face. If those transactions don't check out, however, miners won't record them, and the community ignores the attempt at fraud. Okay, so I didn't want to really look at how what works, and this is really a great article that goes on and on. But I just wanted to understand the key point and purpose of why it happens, and I know that it uses a lot of electricity. So I want to let's look and see if it talks about that, because I know that's what people say. So miners use their computers to listen for transaction requests across the entire network and assemble a list of valid transactions. So when you see articles like about Bitcoin miners, they always have like these huge rigs of like it's like crazy, but um computers and machines and servers and all kinds of things. So um let's see. They talk about like the energy. I wanted to see like a Bitcoin miner setup. Pictures. You know how the internet do. Okay. Yeah. And some of them, like some of the ones I've been seeing are like ones like this. They're not all fancy and nice and all set up, like especially the ones that like, might be in other countries like India and stuff like that. But I want to say again that like any computer servers and things like that use up a lot of electricity, and people are commonly aware of that. Um, you know, and it's uh, why we move towards energy efficiency in terms of sustainable developments and so on and so forth. Not to go on a tangent here, uh, but the idea is that miners play the role of the bank tellers, inspecting checks, making sure all the appropriate signatures and account numbers are there, checking the customer's ID, and looking at proof that the customer has enough cash on hand to fund the transaction. So a lot of computer power, manpower. So if we go back here to this article, the first nuclear-powered Bitcoin mine in the U.S., and it reports 9,000 facilities in quarter one. That's a lot of Bitcoin mining, or potential for Bitcoin mining. So I'm not going to read all into the article, but I think that's something that is in favor of the Bitcoin price rising as new players and stakeholders are getting into the game of cryptocurrencies, of Bitcoin mining, of Bitcoin in general. Um, and I think that's a really, key thing to say here. So like pioneering green Bitcoin mining with nuclear power. And I'm saying it's wrong or right or whatever, because it's nuclear power. I'm just highlighting this as something that could potentially be interesting or favorable for Bitcoin or Binance, because that's where we were really talking about was Binance. And we know that how fundamentally based the cryptocurrency markets are. Um, Anything in the news about, these big uh, decentralized exchanges or alternatives to banks, um, they are highly scrutinized and have a high effect, even more so than the stock market, I would say. But it is what it is. But it hugely impacts the fluctuation of price action in the cryptocurrency markets. So that's what I wanted to say. And I think it's important that I just found this right here on the Binance website. I went to Flash News, or I think what I did is I went to the Binance website and I scrolled down at their news. Oh, I don't know what this is about. I'm just gonna close this. Okay. Let's see. News. Where did I find it? Oh, I went to about, I think I started really reading up on Binance and like this page anyway, looking at what, you know, um, Binance really offers, to society, to the global economy, geopolitics aside. Um, was it here? I know I went to careers then next. Sorry, I'm just doing like a breadcrumbs retrace. I was looking at the different job offerings that they have and the different locations and things where they're located. Um, it's just interesting to know this information, in my opinion, for me. It's a really well-rounded view. Okay, I know the thing was news, so I'm just gonna um, go there. Okay, so here we are in flash news on the Binance website, and I thought this was interesting. I hadn't read this any of the other news articles that I have been reading for today. I guess it just didn't make um, top news or anything like that. But whatever. There's a lot that's going on today. Um, Geopolitics aside, um, I thought this was a cool place to kind of look at more centralized news about what other companies say this company has going on, as well as what is already out there in the news. Just again to have a more well-rounded view of an entity for political decision making. And I really just say this to like um, drop the hype in the market. In cryptocurrency markets, it can be hugely fundamentally based. Things can happen, people can say things, and then they drive up the prices of, this thing or that thing on some arbitrary basis. And I mean, while it's all, fine and dandy, I know that there are a lot of people that are concerned about their, you know, investing. They want to make smart money investments, be, sharp stewards of their finances and their investments and things like that. And so I support people who want to be a part of that community, who want to learn more about self-investing, who'd like to receive any type of mentorship, or perhaps, even learn how to forex trade. For me, I think this is a skill that anybody should know how to do or know something about. Um, Whether you make $1 or $10, I think it's valuable to understand the price and the fluctuations of price as you participate in the money markets by consuming things, by buying things, by shopping online, by, investing into Bitcoin or Ethereum or, doing something as Apple Pay, like you or anyone is primely positioned to be fully informed and educated about how to profit from the foreign exchange markets on a um, sustainable and consistently sustainable basis. So if that's you or someone like you or you know anyone, please feel free to reach out to me. Drop a DM, a comment, share this video, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you on the next one for DXY.